St. Patrick's Day is coming up, a holiday that has lost all of its meaning and is now just an excuse for sad sacks to get drunk. Come to think of it, that's pretty much what every holiday has become.
I don't need to use a holiday as an excuse to enjoy a good IPA. The hoppier the better. So.
Truthfully, I'm not a big fan of St. Patty's Day. It feels like a filler holiday. Halloween, you get to dress up and watch horror movies and get candy. Christmas is a magical time of wonder and childhood memories. And St. Patrick's Day, well, you get to wear green or people pinch you? What is that? Today, I want to look at a movie called The Luck of the Irish. Now, I realize I'm far from the only person to have talked about this movie, and I'm definitely not the first one to come up with the brilliant idea of discussing it around St. Patrick's Day. But I liked it as a kid, and I can do whatever I want. It's my show. The movie starts with these creepy close-up shots while our main character Kyle narrates.
Everyone in the world is different from everyone else. That's easy to see. Just look.
He starts saying that the one thing everyone has in common is a heritage. But then he starts to wonder if he actually has one. He then appears on stage and is tiny. He almost gets stepped on and then wakes up. He asks his parents what their heritage is, and they don't really have an answer.
We moved here from Cleveland.
We're Americans, Kyle. That's all the heritage we need.
Kyle has to head to his basketball game.
Don't forget to wear your lucky coin.
He's a high school basketball star.
Dude, that was a lucky shot. Hey, luck's got nothing to do with it.
Man, this brings me back to my basketball days. As is standard in Disney Channel movies and shows, Kyle has one friend who's a male and one friend who's a female. Russell is his best friend and teammate, while Bonnie is the academic one. Bonnie is in charge of the Heritage Day Committee.
You're in charge of like every committee.
And asks Kyle his heritage. He brushes it off, but it clearly starts to bother him how evasive his parents have been. From here, we learn that Kyle is seemingly lucky in every area of life. He guesses the answers on a test, and they all happen to be correct. He never misses a shot in basketball, and he randomly finds cash just lying around on the street. He continues to try and find out about his family heritage, but his parents continue to be deceptive.
There it was again. The feeling that they were hiding something from me.
While hanging out with Russell, he sees a poster for some Irish festival that has the same logo from his lucky coin. At the festival, some random guy comes up to them and starts spewing nonsense.
Did you make those yourself? Or is it your ma still does it for you and you have grown?
And then just disappears.
Where'd he go?
Then, this guy named Seamus McTiernan shows up and does what is basically a river dance show. Some huge guy dressed as a leprechaun knocks Kyle over, and Kyle leaves the festival. He wakes up the next morning and his mom is making breakfast in the kitchen, speaking in an Irish accent.
Top of the morning to you.
Did you do something to your hair, Mom?
She finally tells Kyle that the family is Irish. She claims she hadn't told him before to protect him from the racism that the Irish faced when they immigrated to the US. After this, Kyle becomes extremely unlucky. The car sprays water on him, he loses his money, and he's suddenly awful at basketball. He also starts to notice that he's getting shorter every day. Not only that, but his ears become pointy and his hair turns red.
Oh, saints preserve us. I am getting shorter.
He then realizes his lucky gold coin has been replaced with a fake. When he gets home, his mom is the size of a Barbie.
I'm a leprechaun, Kyle.
Yes, because every Irish person is a leprechaun. That's a proven fact.
Me? You mean I'm a leprechaun too?
And what
What else would you be?
You're not a leprechaun too.
No. I'm from Cleveland.
You know, leprechauns have a really good payday loan program. They don't even make you pay them back in money. You can make payments in shepherd's pie. But they did turn me down last time because of my credit score.
It turns out that Kyle's lucky coin makes it so his family can pass as normal humans. Since he lost it, they're turning back into leprechauns. Kyle thinks the old man at the festival stole it, and his mom reveals that that guy is actually Kyle's grandfather, Riley O'Reilly. Wow. So the family heads to Emerald Isle, a potato chip factory that Riley owns. Kyle finds out that the reason he is estranged from his grandfather is because his dad isn't a leprechaun, and leprechauns don't believe in mixed marriages.
Well, sometimes leprechauns can be small-minded.
Whoa, that's like a racist and a height joke. Kyle runs into Bonnie at the factory and they meet up with Riley. The old man tells them that Seamus McTiernan from the festival is probably the one that actually stole the coin.
And who else would it be?
So the whole family and Bonnie hop in Riley's car and search for Seamus. They randomly see Russell walking down the street and he hops in the car too. The gang's all here. Let's take a break to share some useless trivia. When The Luck of the Irish premiered, it was the most watched Disney Channel movie of all time. That's crazy to me because fan favorites like Halloween Town, Brink, and Johnny Tsunami premiered a couple years earlier. This movie was remade in the Hindi Indian language for Disney Channel India in 2012, entitled Luck Luck Kaibat. Sorry if I butchered that. I didn't know Disney Channel India even existed. I mean, I knew that the Disney Channel probably airs in India. I just wasn't aware they were producing exclusive movies. There's a copy of this movie on YouTube, but there aren't English subtitles, so I was pretty lost. I will say I like the idea of Disney remaking their movies in different languages with different actors for different cultures. It's more intentional than just slapping some subtitles on an American-made movie. Disney has dabbled in the world of leprechauns before. In fact, one of my favorite Disney movies ever is on the subject. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. It features a super young Sean Connery. We did a video on this one a while back if you want to check it out. I wanted to see if there was a physical release of this movie to add to my collection. It looks like there is, but it was only released in Europe, and if you want a copy, you'll be paying over $100 with shipping. I don't want to add it to my collection that badly. And now, back to the movie. They stumble upon Seamus and his dancing group in an RV and a chase ensues. Seamus gets away, Riley and the family get a flat tire, it starts raining, and everyone starts bickering until Bonnie gives an inspiring speech.
I'm an American, that's what we all are, and Americans don't give up.
The rain ceases and they see a rainbow.
Come on, boys!
Where are we going?
To the end of the rainbow!
I've been trying to reach the end of a rainbow for years. That amount of gold could fund all of my future endeavors. Problem is, it always disappears right before I get there. There it is. Time to cash in.
And sure enough, Seamus and crew are at the end of the rainbow in a pub. Kyle and Riley sneak onto Seamus's RV and find the coin. Kyle puts the coin back on and returns to his human form, but Seamus realizes something is amiss and catches them.
I've got him by the beard, boyo.
Much like Kyle and his friends reaching the end of the rainbow, we're about to reach the end of the movie. But first, let's talk about the cast and crew. Kyle is played by Ryan Merriman, who would go on to have a relatively successful career, obtaining starring roles in The Ring 2 and Final Destination 3. He still seems to be getting some acting gigs here and there. Riley O'Reilly, played by Henry Gibson, was a very prolific actor in television and film. He had a career spanning from 1963 to 2008. Before that, he was an intelligence officer in the Air Force, and before that, he was a child actor on stage. Alexis Lopez, or Bonnie, didn't do much acting after this, but she was in what is probably my favorite sitcom ever, Even Stevens. The guy who played Russell, Glendon Chapman, has a little over 20 credits to his name, including Eraser, Love and Basketball, and the family comedy masterpiece, Baby Geniuses. And my favorite actor in this movie is Timothy Amundsen, aka Seamus. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but he's in another one of my all-time favorite shows, Psych. In this show, he plays a detective named Carlton Lassiter, aka Lassie. One of the best TV characters ever.
Well, now that you mention it, there is something I'm needing from you two.
What?
Your absence.
Unfortunately, Timothy had a stroke in 2017 that left him incapable of using his left arm. He also had to completely relearn how to walk. However, he's not the kind of guy to let that stop him. He's still acting. In fact, he was in the new Disney Plus show Percy Jackson and the Olympians. One of the writers of this movie, named Mark Edward Edens, wrote for X-Men the Animated Series, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show, The Real Ghostbusters, and a ton more. Dang, this guy's like the king of 80s and 90s animated children's entertainment. And finally, the director, Paul Hain, has mostly just done Disney Channel stuff, including the Even Stevens movie. Yet another Even Stevens connection. And now, back to the movie. Kyle remembers that Riley told him Seamus is a fair Derrig, an evil kind of leprechaun that can't resist a bet, so Kyle challenges him.
What wager is it? What exactly did you have in mind?
Whoever wins at sports gets the coin. Kyle and Russell are then transported to some field.
Where are we? And what are we wearing?
The problem is that all of the sports are weird Irish games that Kyle has no idea how to play. However, he holds his own and ties up with Seamus. So for the tiebreaker,
I bet I can beat you at basketball even without my lucky coin.
from here, they're teleported to a basketball game. During this game, Seamus transforms into his full-on evil leprechaun self. Kyle and Russell lead the team to victory, the family gets their lucky coin back, and Seamus is forced to live in Ohio forever. Ohio! Then the movie ends with some good old patriotic propaganda.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
Remember, whatever crap country you come from, whatever your heritage is, America is definitely better.
The end of the rainbow. Wait. Where's the gold? What is that? Leprechaun blood.
Hey, Ronald. Recently came into some wealth.
It's Rodney. It's Rodney!
Whatever.